Welcome to Rom Wills Money Matters. Make smart vehicle purchases. This is very important. This is very, very important. You want to make a smart vehicle purchase because we all know about like the basics of food, shelter, and clothing. You got to throw transportation in there, even because you're going to need it at some point. Even if you're not getting a car, you still got a bike. If you ain't got a bike, you riding a bus. That's still that's not a purchase, but you still need it. But the majority of people out here got to have cars, especially when you got people living in suburbs in every place and, might not have bus services. And then some people just might want it so they can go, they can do stuff. Whatever the case, cars are a major expense. And it's like once you get a car, you paying for it always. Even if you buy a car, like a good used car outright, you pay cash for it, right? You still got to spend money on it every month. You still got to spend money. So you got to spend money just on the insurance. You still got, even if it could be a small insurance, you ain't paying that much because you just got your hoopty, but you still got to pay. You still got to pay for gas. You still got to pay for gas if you want to go someplace. You still got to, at the very least, get regular oil changes. Even if even if you can like do all the work on the car yourself, you still got to pay for the oil. You still got to pay for the oil. You still got to pay to replace stuff, and indeed, hopefully you clean your car. Hopefully, some people don't. Whatever the case, you spending money on it regardless. And I just gave an example of cheap expenses, like if you get a used car and you paid for it. But what happens? You get a car you got to pay a car note on. You got to pay a car note on, and then depending on the level of car, repairs can be expensive. You got to be smart with it. You really got to be smart. See, I'm going to tell you what I've seen is a lot of people, they will spend a whole lot of money on a car because it look good, because I've seen people, they got like that big expensive car. They might get that BMW or Mercedes or something, but they can't afford it. Barely living. I've known some guys, they'll get that car with, like, I know a guy, and this was in 90s money. I never forget him. I was like, how much you paying on your car? $500. This is in 90s money, so right now it would probably, that sound like maybe $1,000 car note or something. Nice car, but he still lived at home, right? And then here's another problem. If you get a car, if you can get a new car, which is expensive by itself, you might not have to worry about major repairs right away, but let's be real. Most people gonna get a used car, and I'm gonna get into why that's probably better than a new car anyway, right? But you gotta spend money on all this stuff. It's a major thing to keep it running, all that, right? So it's like that's where a lot of your money is going to go. A lot of money go after your mortgage. You paying on that car, all right? And you got to be smart with it. So you got to be smart about the type of car you get, the fuel economy, how much gas you're going to spend on it, how safe it is generally and all of that. So, that's very important. You got to be smart about it. Just don't get it just because it's the latest style or just because it look good. Of course, you want it to look good. You want it to be comfortable, but you got to think about other stuff, right? Like the car I got now, it's a used car, but it's the same brand I've had before. So it's a modest car, even though I do want something expensive, a late model car. But I'll get into that in a second when I will get one. But I'm going to tell you what, used cars aren't a bad thing, especially if you're trying to save money. First of all, you get it, like if you get a used car, try to get it less, about a year old or within 2 years of its date that it came out. And definitely try to get it under 30,000 miles, right? And one of the reasons you want to get a used car is One, when you get a new car, it depreciates as soon as you drive it off the lot. You'll pay a lot. It's like you drive around the block or something and, you know, then this is stretching a little bit to say it this way, but you try to sell it back, they won't take it or they won't give you the same amount. Now, really, if you get in a car, they usually give you about 30. If there's a reputable dealer, they'll give you about 30 days to bring it back, no problem. But it's still not worth the same thing. They might take it back for some paperwork or something, but it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. And the thing about a good used car is, one, is cheaper, but usually if it's under a year and you sell it to a good used car dealer, they'll fix up any problems, anything that happened, because even a new car can have some issues with it, you know, recalls or whatever, or, you know, something. It might have just been that just one bad car in the batch. So usually they fixed it up. You can get a good price and everything. And a lot of rich people, believe it or not, will get that used car. A lot of people really got some money, a very good used car. They don't put all their money in the car and everything. Now, that being said, you still might want that late model fancy car. You know, I was checking out this Porsche. I was checking out a Porsche, be checking out Infinities and all of that. One of the things I would suggest is, as best as possible, put down at least 50% on a car, new or used, really, but 50%. Or even better, if you're making the money to get an expensive late model fancy sports car, do it if you can pay cash for it. Now, I know that's hard, but I'll say, well, realistically, at least 50%, right? You want to lessen how much, you want to try to get it, own it as quickly as possible. Like the car I have now, over 50% of it is paid off. And I just got it this year. I haven't even had it a full year yet. And it'll definitely be paid off next year. It'll definitely be paid off next year. So you want to like lessen as how long you're going to pay for the car. Because a lot of times when somebody goes the full 5, 6, or 7 years, then all the wear and tear on the car, you end up needing another car a lot of times. So you want to get as much wear out of it as possible. So when you do, try to put as big a down payment on it as possible. And then double up on your car payments if you can. Triple up on them if you can, because that's what I've done. Like I said, I would say over 50% of my car is paid for now. I still got a ways to go. Still got it, but it'll be paid off in less than 5 years, regardless how long. If I just said, okay, from here on out, I'm just going to pay just a regular car note. But I always at least double up on my car note at a minimum every month. So, you know, because you don't want to put too much money into it, because you want to lessen what you have to spend. Because remember, let's go back to what I said earlier. You still got to keep it repaired. Even if you put in your own oil and all of that, you still got to pay for the oil, right? You still got to have gas in it. It's a bunch of stuff. And then just on a regular wear and tear of the vehicle, you might have to have some flushes and stuff like that. So, you know, and stuff checked, and then different things that just happen normally. You're going to have to change your tires maybe. It depends on how much. If you got a new car, you're going to have to change those tires in a few years regardless. So you want to maximize your buck when you're dealing with that car. So you want to be smart with it. And check out cars. Check out Blue Book. Check out reviews, everything before you get something. All right? So anyway, make those smart vehicle purchases. All right? So anyway, that's all I got for today, y'all. Let's go make that money.